What about it, YouTube? Alright, in conversation, I started noticing a factor that I think is detrimental to people because it places them at the whims of circumstance and can cause them issues, I guess you'd say. What I'm trying to get at is the conversation was about, as a friend of mine, he's talking about how to him life seems like it's this search for joy, this search for not just contentment, but like some state that would be obviously opposed to a state of struggle or weariness or stress, that kind of thing. And at first I almost couldn't even relate to it. I had to really search inside for what this really means, this way of thinking. So I think I can see it in people, in a lot of different ways. Whether I think it's rooted in pain from childhood experiences or previous experience or previous sin and the guilt that follows. And so it's like a way of escaping that, to be in a state of joy. So even believers or non-believers, whatever, I think that their behavior gets reflected on this undealt with pain or unresolved pain or unresolved guilt. And so you might see them engaging in excess in whatever way. Alcohol, sex, gambling. But searching for that state of joy that will be opposed to this other state that they experience and that they want to run from and want to be away from. So it's this search for joy, this quest for nirvana, where no longer will you have to face that. But it's always there, and life isn't, there's no escape, man. There's no running from your crap. There's no running from your history. There's no running from... Now, how you choose to deal with all that, and resolve it is your choice. But if you leave it unresolved and you run to excess, you're just spinning, basically, and you're going to find yourself disillusioned and probably depressed, and any kind of anxiety or problems, issues that you have, that you face in your daily walk, in your daily life, those are going to be the hangover from this disillusionment. That's going to be the thing that reminds you that it's not going anywhere. So, yeah, I don't relate to it a whole lot, thank goodness, I don't struggle with that. I mean, sure, I've had crap to deal with, sure, but, and sure, I've engaged in excess at times, but not, I've never been that guy that, I can put stuff down pretty easily, and I can rationalize my way through an addiction fairly well. I wouldn't say, you know what I mean? I've got this nicotine thing going on, but, as far as like deadly sins or really harmful activities of excess. Nah, I've been able to curb my way away from that throughout my life without too much trouble. Probably I would say my quest for, like, I can relate to it in this respect, that I was on a quest for this unconditional love that I thought could exist outside of having a relationship with God. I didn't recognize at the time that that's impossible. And so I can relate to that part of it. Like, I can relate to just like this needfulness and desperation to get this into my life, where, again, like, now that I realize that if you realize God's love for you, His mercy for you, His wanting for you to be in a relationship with Him, and that He's the only true love, the only unconditional love that is without fault or any problems. I mean, that's where you're going to find it, is there. And then it's going to be expressed, by you, should be out into the world now, okay? And whether or not, somebody on the earthly plane is able to come together with you, I mean, there's so many issues there. I don't want to tangent off on this video too much, but it's just not something to be so concerned with that you lose sight of where the big picture is. So for me, yeah, the big picture is really where it's at. That's whatever I was missing whenever I was searching anyway. So to me, it's not like I'm searching for joy. It's not, I'm just thankful and I'm good, and even if there's something I gotta work through, I'm good. And if there's something great going on, I'm just more even keeled in my mood and my attitude, my state of mind. I think that's kind of not to be completely without personality and without emotion, but just to be able to handle things without having a roller coaster of stuff going on, to where you're, easily vulnerable in those situations too, to whatever, to bad things when you're just on the swing all the time. So that's this video, is if you can, resolve your issues, talk to God, ask repentance, ask for Him to take away these burdens of the past, ask for Him to take away these addictions that you've found, that you've engaged in excess and that you have trouble controlling. That's where you're going to find this thing I'm talking about, this ability to just almost be able to step outside of yourself in your daily walk, so that you're able to see it from a different perspective, not to be caught up in it like, oh, this wasn't fair to me, and like, just stand back and just be forgiving and merciful and caring and loving, and don't be complete pushover, but stand back and be able to see things, try to see things from as many point of views as you can, from the people in their position that are coming at you, so that you're able to have a better understanding of just where you fit to everything, and how much better, so that you're able to walk away from it and feel good about how you handled it. Oh, I got all pissed off and I showed my ass, to avoid that, to feel good when you walk away, like, yeah, I feel good about that. I didn't let it get under my skin. I didn't throw a tantrum. I didn't let it ruin my day. I didn't let it affect how I treated people the rest of the day. Anyway, there's too many millions of examples to try and walk through them all. But just to, generally speaking, be even keeled and not be on a roller coaster, I think is what you should be striving for, and that relationship with God, where you'll just be content with that, where that's what sets you good every day, is like, hey, I feel good because I feel good with my relationship with God right now. That's awesome. That's what's going to keep you even killed, I think. So that's it for this video.